first and they tax the masses out there. So $55 million is squeezed from the poor masses of this country, while corporate income tax, which include cable and wireless, and every single corporate citizen in this country only contributes $53.8 million. And they're lowering the corporate income tax this year is lowered to what, 25%? Still, Madam Speaker, notwithstanding the resounding success of its taxation gone mad policy. That's what I call it. Taxation gone mad policy. The management of the fiscal operations of central government under the UPP, I want you to listen to this in a PM weight, like its stewardship of the government has been a dismal failure. But I want to tell you why. I want to tell you this part, man, Mr. PM, don't run. I want you to listen. I want you to listen. So put on your radio. That record of UPP failure, Madam Speaker, to plot the course for the ship of state, that failure to navigate the choppy seas of globalization, that failure to deal with public debt in the people's interests, that failure, Mr. Minister of Finance, to avoid, I'm rewording his own language in the budget speech, Madam Speaker, that failure to avoid the pitfalls of fiscal mismanagement, and that failure to stay well clear of misbehavior in public office has led us to this platform of the UPP election campaign trickery of 2008 in the budget statement. And that is what the budget statement is perched on, campaign trickery. Unsound politics, desperate for success, fooling the people, and using the people's money to buy the people's votes. It's now clear, Madam Speaker, it's clear to all aboard that the captain that the Finance Minister, the Honourable Member for St. John's Woolleys, claims that has lost his way. The captain that has lost his way is in fact his own Prime Minister. His own Prime Minister, Winston Baldwin Spencer, who has lost his way. He has lost his way. Not only his head, he is lost with his behavior in here today, which was totally unbecoming of a Prime Minister. So disappointed in him. The deputy in whom little confidence is reposed and who is incapable of reading the direction of the wind, Madam Speaker, is my good friend, the Honourable Member for St. Philip's South, William Daniel, who, Madam Speaker, have been marginalized and humiliated. Humiliated by a captain who he served so loyally. This man does not understand loyalty. He doesn't. He humiliated Wilmot Daniel and marginalized him when he stripped you, my dear member for St. Philip's South, of that portfolio of APUA. He stripped you whilst you were undergoing medical treatment in New York. You were not even here. You were not even here.
Honourable Member, you reading?
I am referring to my notes, Madam Speaker, because I've taken very copious notes to answer this detailed budget. So I crave your indulgence and
I'd like you to
from time to time.
A little more,
but I will.
A little less.
I will. But you know, Madam Speaker, I was, truth be told, you want me to debate, Madam Speaker, and read less. Truth be told, I was at the bedside of the member of St. Philip's South in New York when he was undergoing medical treatment. And I can tell this country firsthand the humiliation, the hurt that he experienced when Baldwin Spencer treated him like that. I saw the hurt in your eyes, Brother Daniel, and the humiliation that you suffered. And who replaced him, Madam Speaker? Who replaced him? MP Honourable Trevor Walker from Barbuda. He's a good man, intelligent man. But what does MP Trevor Walker know about APUA? What experience does MP Trevor Walker have in the running of a statutory authority as important as APUA, Madam Speaker? What experience in utility matters does he bring to the table? And of course, Madam Speaker, the member for St. Philip's South for many years worked at Bryson's, He brings a lot of management experience. He worked in the private sector, not just in government. Many of them over there never worked in the private sector. Unlike our illustrious member for St. John's City West, next Minister of Finance, who has so many years of experience in Swiss American Bank and brought the bank out of the red into the black and demonstrated to be a true banker and a true leader. So it be with the member for St. Philip South. But no, the Honorable Prime Minister strip him and humiliate him and bring MP Walker from Barbuda to replace him. So the UPP crew members, Madam Speaker, they are fighting among themselves. They're fighting among themselves. That was a fight you saw today. He's saying it's this side. He cursing this side. He cursing Hadid. His word he dropping for your own cabinet colleagues when he talk about Shaul. Word he dropping for the deputy and especially the Minister of Finance when he defending Shaul in here. So I want the country to know. But he's telling all you cannot support Hadid over Shaul. I am the Prime Minister. And he's hurt. The hurt he's speaking about is the hurt that his lieutenants, his deputy, his Minister of Finance, the Honourable Member for St. George, the Honourable Member for St. Mary's North, he have the whole cabinet against him, Madam Speaker. All he have is one unelected, two. You have the Attorney General unelected, and you have Mansour, poor Mansour, unelected, and he does have, of course, the Honourable Member for St. John's Rural North. You would expect that. That is David Child, brother-in-law. But the rest of the whole cabinet is against him. Well, I don't know about Howell because he went China with the ambassador recently with Juan. Madam Speaker, the cries of the people to continue to warn day after day, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. But all the UPP is concerned about is winning the next general elections, come hell or high water, using every last cheap political gimmick available to them. And the reality is, Madam Speaker, regardless of how many goodies they give away, regardless of how many tricks are promised and or delivered to the people of this country, the UPP will lose the next general elections. You will lose the general elections and you will lose yours too while I'm beginning coming for you. Madam Speaker, I wouldn't go as far as to blaspheme me like my good colleagues at St. Philip's North and say only Jesus Christ can beat me. But the good people of St. Peter's will make sure that this man is always returned in here. Mark my word. Madam Speaker, you know why they will lose the next election? And I want to crave your indulgence to tell you 8 reasons why they're going to lose the next election, Madam Speaker. 1, the UPP has abused its taxation privilege. And this is serious business, Madam Speaker. When you take year after year from those poor people $100 million more than it needs to run the country and the government, that is abuse. That is abuse. 2, hundreds of millions of tax dollars squeezed out of the poor people have been squandered, Mr. Minister of Finance, misspent, Mr. Deputy, or corruptly diverted to the private gain of big UPP big shots and financiers. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And the Prime Minister can wail and cry until he wants and look sympathy. Corruptly diverted to UPP big shots. Call a commission of inquiry into the stadium, man. When Prime Minister Douglas and Prime Minister Mitchell and Skerritt and them, when I tell them it's $127 million, $130 million this country have spent, that the central government has spent up there, they say, where? In what? In 10 miles a road? 8 miles a road, Madam Speaker? Well, you tell me, Madam Speaker, how much miles a road is up there? Help me.
No more than 5.
No more than how much?
No more than 5 miles.
Then 5 miles of road. But I'm going to come back to that, Madam Speaker. I'll come back to the World Cup thing. Let me give you the 4th reason. All around the world, Madam Speaker, parties, ruling parties, that is, have been booted and kicked out of office for lying to the people of the country about the necessity of high taxation, stealing from them through unjustified taxes, because that's what you're doing. The personal income tax is an unjustified, burdensome tax on the people of this country. And cheating from them by passing untendered projects to party faithful and elite financial contributors. And I want to pause here to put the commissioners of the Port Authority and my good friend Mr. Armstrong.